Chapter 21. Getting Anne's Phone. Anne struggles for some time on the ground as his body feels drained due to the impact of such a fall. After a moment, he stands for a while. Suddenly, he looks at the victim on the floor. Then he nonchalantly walks away. Anne is now coming out of the two-way door as he walks down the concrete staircase, exiting the area. He looks up to see a sign on top of the two-way door. The sign reads, "Search and Help Homeless Shelter." Near the left side of the concrete staircase, Anne looks at another sign. He looks at it to see what the sign is about, as it reads, "Serving soup today, hot and steamy taste." Anne walks ahead some more and grabs the phone handle of a payphone. With his right hand in the sling, he uses his left hand's index finger to tap on the buttons to dial a number. Once he's done feeding the number in the payphone, he puts the phone handle near his left ear and listens the line being connected. Suddenly, the payphone answers as the female operator's static voice calls out from the other side. "Hello, operator speaking." Anne responds in the payphone. "Hello, can I make an emergency call to 402-434-6547, please?" The female operator's static voice comes again on the payphone as she says, "Is it for an emergency call?" Anne says, "Well, yes, it is." The female operator's static voice says, after a slight pause, "Okay, I'll patch you through it." The phone starts ringing as Anne keenly listens to it, waiting for someone to answer the call, before he says to the female operator, "Thanks." Anne then whispers shortly, "Dumbass." Anne, after saying that, he is now patiently waiting for his call to connect, while silently praying that it doesn't take her too long to do so. Suddenly, the call gets answers as the cleaning lady's static voice fills Anne's ears through the payphone. The cleaning lady says, "Hello." Anne immediately asks, without even the formality of greeting her, "Assistant, lady? Has anyone called?" The cleaning lady's static yet aggressive voice reaches Anne as she says, "Who the fuck is this?" Anne responds to her question, saying, "It's the guy who owns your phone." The cleaning lady's static voice changes from an aggressive tone to a normal one as she asks nicely, "Anne, how are you? How have you been?" Anne responds quickly, adding his own question at the end. The question whose answer he was anticipating badly. I'm good, I'm really good. I was just wondering if there were any phone calls for me." The cleaning lady thought for a second before responding in the same static voice from the other side of the line, saying, "Just Lane called." Anne asks incredulously, "He's alive. I mean, how is he doing?" The cleaning lady's static voice states, "He's locked up. He said it's not my fucking fault that the plan." Anne cuts her sentence short as he says, Okay. Did he say anything about guano?" The cleaning lady paused for a moment. After a while, suddenly, her static voice fills the line as she says quietly, "He's dead." Anne is quiet. He doesn't say a single word for some time as he lets the information about Lane being locked up and Guano's death in. He lets out a sigh after a while before saying, "When his mother calls, you tell her, your son was a decent, honest person." The cleaning lady cuts his remorseful comment short as her static voice reaches Anne again with words that are better than the previous ones, as she says, "I'm just fucking with you. He's not dead. He's just at the hospital. He broke his right arm and neck. Nothing too serious, but he'll probably go jail when he's done." Anne looks annoyed at her comment. He was not expecting such a childish stunt by the cleaning lady. He composes himself before saying, "Okay. If Boiler calls, tell him, I'm sorry, but I tried." The cleaning lady asks with all seriousness on the other side of the phone, "You didn't get his money on time?" Anne responds in a sad tone as he says, "I tried, but I got no luck today. I'm just going to take off tonight. Hope he won't catch up to me." The cleaning lady asks in the same serious yet static tone again, "How much time do you have?" Anne responds anxiously, saying, "I don't fucking know. I'm looking left and right for him. Hope I don't get Hallis." The cleaning lady cuts his ranting midway as she reminds him of something and asks, "Well, what about your original plan?" Anne shakes his head while saying in the payphone, It's not a one-man job. The cleaning lady's optimistic words reach Anne in a static tone as she suggests, "What about one man and one woman job?" Anne looks a little confused at that, as he can't decipher what the cleaning lady actually means. He thinks for a while, and when he is unable to put the finger on her point, he asks, "What do you mean?" The cleaning lady is now sitting on the grass with her legs crossed. She then elaborates her suggestion so that Anne is able to understand that, as she says, "I mean, I'll help you finish your heist. We'll do it tonight." Anne's static voice reaches the cleaning lady as he quickly rejects her suggestion, saying, "No, what happened yesterday was a total screw-up. It's too risky now. It was just bad luck, that's all. Or maybe you guys were just amateur," the cleaning lady says in a tone that depicts pity. The phone call goes silent for a moment. For a long time, none of them speak even a word. Suddenly, Anne's static voice fills the call as he says, "I spent weeks on that fucking plan. I knew it's going to work. I knew everything was going well. It was one fuck-up, just one fuck-up. It was the goddamn building fault, not ours. It wasn't because we were amateur, me." The cleaning lady gets frustrated at Anne's whining as she cuts him midway and says, "Okay, stop blaming others for your own failures. Are you in?" Anne's static voice says, after thinking for a moment, "Yes, I'm in." The cleaning lady says again, "Great! I'll meet you at Westman's at 9 o'clock sharp. Okay?" Anne's static voice tries to stop her, as he suddenly says, "Hey, wait a minute." But before Anne has the chance to say anything else, the cleaning lady hangs up on Anne. She puts the phone down and takes a sip from her bottle of whiskey that she is holding in her left hand. When she's done drinking, she waves at someone on her right hand. "Hi," the cleaning lady says as she waves at someone while smiling at the person. Then she looks around the area as she is waiting for something. Suddenly, Anne's phone's ringtone fills the atmosphere as there is another incoming call. The cleaning lady answers the phone without even looking at the caller ID. "I said 9 o'clock, cocksucker," the cleaning lady says as soon as she picks up the phone without even listening to the other person on the line. She hears a man's static voice coming through the phone, asking, "Anne, it's me. I really need to talk to you." The cleaning lady recognizes his voice as she acknowledges him while saying, "Hi, Dam." The phone call goes silent for a while before Dam finally says, "Hey, it's you. Why do you have my son's phone?" The cleaning lady responds in a bored tone as she says, "Wasn't it obvious?" Dam's static voice says, "No. Well, yeah. It's pretty obvious. I also know you took my son's shirt as well." The cleaning lady simply says, "Your son was being a disrespectful piece of shit. He was saying bad things about you." Dam's static voice reaches the cleaning lady as he confesses, "Yeah, I can't blame him. I'm not such a good saint." The cleaning lady says again in a softer tone, "You don't seem like a bad guy. When I saw you in person, you seemed like an honest, kind, friendly, and a lovely fool." Dam's static voice says in a remorseful tone, "That's what you see in me. The people who know me say that I'm an awfully sick human. I deserve to die because I'm a terrible father." The call gets silent once again. This time, the silence is not comfortable at all, as the cleaning lady looks at her left. Dam is answering the phone while still driving his vehicle. He's looking down, and he clearly looks very depressed. Airdrie looks at Dam, and after noticing the looks at his face, he feels a little sympathy for him. Then, the right side of his pants starts to vibrate. Airdrie pulls out his cell phone from his pants' right pocket and is now looking at it keenly. Meanwhile, on the other side, Palm is still writing. He pauses for a moment and sighs before saying, "You poor sad fool." Inside Dam's vehicle, Dam is still on the flip phone while driving. The cleaning lady's static voice reaches his ears after a long pause, as she says, "I'll tell you what. Meet me at Honda's bar at 8 o'clock, and let's see what kind of a terrible person you are. Do we have an agreement?" Before Dam can respond to her offer, Airdrie shouts suddenly, "Dam, look out!" Dam looks up and notices that he's on the wrong side of the road. By the time he realizes that, there is another vehicle coming towards Dam's vehicle. Dam yells and drops his phone and turns the steering wheel to the left. Dam's vehicle rushes to the left side of the road as he tries leaving the wrong side entirely. The other vehicle nearly misses Dam's vehicle and starts honking its horn at Dam at the foolish stunt he had pulled unknowingly. If they had actually collided, it would have been a terrible accident. Dam quickly turns the steering wheel to the right. Dam's vehicle is rushing towards the right side of the road. Due to the commotion, Airdrie moves and hits the right side of his temple on the passenger window. When Dam's vehicle rushes on the right side of the road, the other driver shouts, "Motherfucker!" Dam rolls down his window and pokes out his head. He then looks up at the other driver and shouts an apology back, "Sorry!" Dam gets back inside the vehicle as he ducks his head inside the car. He then hears the static voice of the cleaning lady, probably coming out from the phone, which he had dropped during the entire scene that happened just a few moments ago. The cleaning lady says, "Hello? Hello! Damn! Did you hear what I fucking said?" The cleaning lady is shouting now, while asking Dam for an answer to the question she had asked a while ago. Dam ducks his head down as he looks at the car's floor. He tries searching for the flip-flop phone around on the floor. Palm says in a static voice from the other side of the phone through his computer's monitor, "It's under your seat." Dam puts his hand under his seat and soon feels the phone. He quickly retrieves it from the car's floor and brings it back to his right ear. He immediately asks, "Yeah? Did you hear what I said?" The cleaning lady asks in a static voice. Dam says, "Yeah. Meet you at the Honda's bar at 8 o'clock. The cleaning lady asked in a static voice, "Why didn't you respond?" "What happened?" Dam responds to her question as he remembers whatever went down a few minutes back, saying, "I was driving on the wrong side of the road, being distracted by talking to you on the phone." The cleaning lady says in a static voice, "Well, drive safe and meet me there. I'll pay for our drinks." She then says in a seductive tone, "My treat." With that being said, and without waiting for Dam's response, the cleaning lady hangs up the phone. Dam looks at the phone, then the road ahead of him as he gulps audibly. Soon enough, Dam's body starts to shake. Airdrie is rubbing the right side of his temple, which is still hurting due to the hit. He looks up with his right hand, still rubbing soothing circles on the right side of his temple as he asks, "So, we're going to meet the cleaning lady?" Dam nods and says, "Yup." Then Dam suddenly starts smiling nervously as soon as he responded to Airdrie's question. Airdrie asks again, "What about Anne?" Dam looks at Airdrie before responding. "There's no way to contact him." Airdrie asks again, "What's his name?" Dam looks at Airdrie before looking back at the road and asks, "Who?" Airdrie says, suddenly remembering whom he's talking about, "Boiler. He's still in the trunk, remember?" Dam remembers that he has yet another task at hand. He responds, "We'll deal with him after we're done with our date." Airdrie incredulously says, "Our date? More like your date than mine?" Airdrie still has his right hand on the right side of his temple, and soon he starts rubbing his head again. Dam looks at Airdrie and says, "Yeah, thanks for warning me about the road and finding my phone." Airdrie says, "You're welcome. Wait, I didn't find your phone." Dam looks at him strangely and says, "You said it's under the seat." Airdrie says seriously, "I didn't say that."